Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Joe Zone on sports. This is the Newswatch 16 update.
Good evening. If you're doing any traveling tonight, state police say be extra careful.
Troopers tell us there are some icy spots on some of the roads in our area, especially in the mountains. People driving on Route 435 near Elmhurst tonight had a tough time getting over the bridge that crosses Interstate 84. Cinder trucks had to be called out, and although some fender benders have been reported, police say there have been no reports of any major accidents tonight because of the icy spots in the higher elevations.
Meteorologist Tom Clark is here with us now.
Tom, how about it? Any more fog tonight?
No, the snow is over tonight. The storm has left us. Latest observations from across the area indicate temperatures just hovering near freezing now, with morning lows I expect to be in the upper 20s. But it's a dry sweep on the radar, but just some of the highest elevations, icy spots in some of those roads and overpasses by morning. But mostly roads are dry across the area at this hour, and again the snow is over. No fog, by the way, either. So things are looking pretty good.
All right, that's good, and they're really good down to the valleys then, especially in the cities.
Yeah, dry.
Okay, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks. Today's snow and ice have made a lot of people start thinking about the tough winter driving that's ahead of them. As Night Beat reporter Dan Fiorucci says, the weather today meant big business for one group of businessmen.
A lot of folks got caught by surprise by today's snowfall, and more than a few got stuck without snow tires. By this evening, many of them were taking care of the oversight.
Pretty bad lines when you got here to get new tires?
Yeah, there are about around 20 people in front of us. They said we have about an hour and a half to wait.
How long have you been waiting for a change of tires?
2 hours.
At Pittston Tires, business was almost 20% above normal, and the phones didn't stop ringing all day.
Pittston Tire, Fred speaking.
Store manager Fred Loyacano says it was a non-stop day.
What's it been like today?
Very good. Very, very busy. We're so busy right now, we wrote up 131 accounts. 131 cars we wrote up.
By day's end, not only had hundreds of snow tires been sold here, but scenes like this were being repeated all over northeast Pennsylvania.
As it turned out, today was a pretty mild snow day, not much of a dusting at all. But a lot of folks say it's just as well that the weather turned a little bad a little early this year, because when the first real snowfall of the winter comes, they'll be ready for it, or at least their cars will be. Dan Fiorucci, Newswatch 16, Pittston.
Next, the biggest shopping day of the year.
Plus, a little later, not everyone was upset when the snow fell today. We'll tell you about the outbreak of ski fever as Newswatch 16 update continues.
Don't worry about the ashes. Just enjoy the benefits of anthracite mine in northeastern Pennsylvania.
'Tis the night after Thanksgiving, and all through the malls, things have finally settled down in the stores and the halls. It was the biggest shopping day of the year today, and earlier this evening, stores like these at the Wyoming Valley Mall were packed with people trying to get an early start on their Christmas shopping. The government says by Christmas Eve, every man, woman, and teenager in the United States will spend about $150 each, a total of $26 billion on holiday gifts. And as Newswatch 16's Craig Stevens reports from Lycoming County, store owners are hoping for their biggest season ever.
City street lights, even stoplights, think of bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with the treasures. Hear the snowbirds, see the kids' lights, this is Santa's big.
Everywhere you look here at the Lycoming Mall, people shopping, bustling, and getting ready for Santa Claus. All the activity here may be just part of the holiday shopping season, but it's much, much more to merchants like Bill Warfel, who runs a toy store.
We're having a real good season right now, and we're already hitting our figures for December, so we're looking forward to a real good season. I think people saved up this year for the Christmas season, whereas in the years past they didn't, and the economy is a little better around here right now.
And everywhere I'm going, merchants are telling me the same thing. Their stores are busy, and they're selling a lot of merchandise. Larger department stores are doing well, too. People buying just about everything you can imagine. It's a big improvement over last year when sales were down at Christmas, mainly due to high unemployment and a poor economy.
They say on TV the employment is up. I don't know whether that's it or the people that do have the money are spending it. You know, even if they don't have a job, people still, you know, get Christmas somehow.
And if this is any indication of what the rest of this Christmas shopping season is going to be like, merchants should have a very good year. Craig Stevens, Newswatch 16, Muncie.
Businessmen in Scranton are also hoping for a big holiday season, but as Newswatch 16's Kathi Belich reports, the store owners say things could be a lot better if it weren't for one big empty building.
They're not selling anything but Steamtown USA in the old Oppenheim building downtown Scranton. The city bought the building after the department store here folded a few years ago, and so far the city hasn't found a buyer. But many downtown merchants say they're going into yet another big shopping season that could be much bigger if only the Oppenheim building were generating some business. Howard Uffberg owns a furniture store just doors down from Oppenheim's. Uffberg says with the closing of that store and about 40 others over the last 10 years, downtown business is tough.
You have the household building right here empty, and you have Samter's. 3 major properties in downtown are empty. We've got to fill those. The Hilton is tremendous for us, but it's in reality, it is still out of town. It is not going to bring in a shopper. It's going to bring in a tourist.
And he says having another taxpayer downtown would take the burden off his and other existing businesses. Abe Plotkin owns a shoe store across the street from the Oppenheim building. He too says it's about time something happens there.
We could have a series of boutiques which have been created by some of the industrialists in the other areas.
In the words of one downtown merchant, the thinking in the city is once Steamtown comes, everything will happen, including the Oppenheim's building. But he says he's living now, and he'd like to see something happen now. Kathi Belich, Newswatch 16, downtown Scranton.
Still ahead, getting the urge to hit the slopes.
But first, it's time for Tom Clark to head out to the backyard to try again. Any more flurries coming, Tom?
No, you mean 3 inches of flurries?
Yeah, right.
No more flurries coming, but what a difference tomorrow is going to be in the weather, and I'll have all those details for you from my cold backyard when we come back.
Frankenstein must be destroyed Monday.
Today's surprise snowstorm was the perfect setting for a parade in downtown Nanticoke, and that's because the star of the show was none other than jolly old St. Nick. The Greater Nanticoke Area Chamber of Commerce put on the parade to officially usher in the holiday season to downtown Nanticoke.
Yeah.
Well, we made a deal with Tom Clark. If he gives us a good weekend, we won't kid him anymore about not predicting all those flurries we had.
Great. That's a deal then. Okay. Enough is enough, huh?
Yeah, we'll let you go.
You know, I have a lot of weight on these branches out here tonight, the snow laying heavily, and I got a pine tree behind me out here in the patio that's practically bent over to the ground. So the wind tonight hasn't been able to shake the snow off the branches, but warmth from the sun tomorrow will. Let me show you the temperature now as it stands in the backyard. A cold wind is blowing, lots of clouds overhead, and there's the reading there, 33 degrees. The humidity is 81%. The wind is from the southwest at 15 miles per hour, enough to blow your hair around a bit, and the barometer is rising, 29.82 inches. The high in this backyard was 47 degrees at 5 minutes past midnight last night before the cold air rushed in to change the rain to snow. The record high for this date is 70, set back in 1979. The low so far today is at the freezing mark, and the record low, 7 above zero in 1938. And look at some of those Christmas decorations moving at the Wyoming Valley Mall. That may be Dancer or Blitzen or Rudolph. One of the two, there they are. Take a look at Newswatch 16's color satellite photograph. There it is, the giant storm system that left 1.25 inches of rain in this backyard, 2 to 6 inches of snow across northeastern Pennsylvania, 50-mile-per-hour winds in Massachusetts, up to 1 foot of snow in Vermont, and about 5 inches of rain up in Bangor, Maine. That storm system pulling away slowly tonight, and look what's coming in behind it, some drier air. Look at this, the sun out over a good portion of the country today. That air is moving in towards Pennsylvania, and it's from the southwest, so that means warmer temperatures. So this snow is going to be gone by noon Sunday, maybe even by tomorrow night. Look out to the west. Another storm system coming in over the Rockies, another very powerful storm, and snowing now in parts of Wyoming at the rate of 2 inches an hour. As much as 3 feet of snow is possible in some of the highest elevations of the Rockies tonight. This storm system moving very slowly to the east, and it'll bring rain into our weather picture early next week. Here's the forecast for the balance of tonight. Clearing skies overhead. I expect a sunrise by morning, even though I won't be up to see it. The cold wind will continue. 28 in Shashequin, up there in Bradford County. 29 in Harding, 28 in Jim Thorpe. The low in Middleburg tonight, 29 degrees, Snyder County. And Williamsport, about 29 for the low by morning. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, blue sky, beautiful. And a lot of glare off the snow. You'll need your sunglasses. It'll be windy through the day, a west wind at about 20 miles per hour. Temperatures, look at this, rebounding up to near 50 in Archibald, 47 Mount Pocono, 53 in Allentown, 51 in Alameda, and 51 in Jersey Shore. Invigorating outside tomorrow. Cold breezes, lots of sunshine, should give you good reflexes for driving and whatever. Concentration should be good. That'll help with the shopping. And look at that mood, a Christmas mood, perhaps, tomorrow afternoon. Clearing skies, 29 degrees tonight in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. The sunshine tomorrow near 50, 55 on Sunday, but clouds begin to build into our picture. It looks like there'll be a little bit of rain on Monday and Tuesday. Not very good news for the first day of deer season. Temperatures near 50 Monday and Tuesday. But what a bright and beautiful difference tomorrow will be. Good weather for shopping.
Oh, good. Yeah. I intend to do some.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you,
Thanks, Tom. Coming up, ski fever.
Plus, the brief fight, high school basketball gets going, and a preview of the Class A semifinal football championship. Joe Zone and sports coming up.
Hunting season is opened, and this week on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, we'll take a look at the biggest black bears around. Expert Gary Ault will take us black bear hunting on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life at 7.
Then at 7:30, it's the all-new Wild Kingdom. This week, your host, Marlon Perkins, will take you on a polar bear adventure. Explore the fascinating wonders of the animal world on the all-new Wild Kingdom.
Tomorrow on WNEP TV 16.
High school football tomorrow. We wrap up our previews of all 4 Eastern Conference playoff games with a look at the Class A semifinal between 3rd-ranked Mount Carmel and 6th-ranked North Pocono. Tim Carlson has more.
It's a case of a perennial playoff team taking on a first-time entry. North Pocono, in their initial playoff appearance, will have Mount Carmel.
Palis and Lepahanik do his job, and Mikowski and Tommy Smith. We're going to be all right if we just play our game.
North Pocono's game has been a study in stingy defense and a big play offense.
We're going to have to get our passing game going. The last couple games, we really haven't clicked like we did, maybe the West Scranton game, but I think that's going to be a big factor on Saturday. We're going to have to throw the football a bit.
Many think the Mount Carmel offense resembles North Pocono's. One person that feels that way is Tornadoes coach Joe Diminick.
I say they're similar to Mount Carmel in that we have the reputation as being a big play team. We make the big plays. We don't grind it out. We just don't have the ability to do that. At least we haven't proven it so far.
The Red Tornadoes have been in so many playoffs in the past. The travel factor doesn't seem to make much difference to them.
You love to play at home because when you're at home, you're naturally going to have more fans at home, and you're used to the facilities there. You know, you're accustomed to them, and you just feel a little bit better playing at home. But I don't think it's going to hurt that much to be away.
Neither team is taking the other lightly. Let's face it, to get to the playoffs, they had to beat a lot of good teams. To get to the title game next week, they'll have to play that much better. Tim Carlson, Newswatch 16 Sports.
High school basketball tonight as the holiday tournaments and exhibition seasons move into full swing. Pittston area and GAR without Larry Court. Pittston with the ball. GAR's Lionel Crumford steals and gets it in all the way there. Now for Pittston, number 53, Joe Mikowitz misses the short jumper but gets his own rebound and scores. Then GAR's Mike Burton hits from the out. That's Mo Burton from the top of the key. GAR goes on to win this game, the final 38-36. Let's take a look now at the holiday tournaments and the scoreboard. Williamsport. Dallas, I'll catch on. Shenandoah, Pottsville, Marion. I got the guys in the back telling me to read. Canceled, Lord's Regional, North Schuylkill, Williams Valley, Coatesville, Parkland, Bethlehem Liberty, Bethlehem Catholic, Northwestern, and that's our first night of basketball, and I'll have to work on that a little bit, I guess. Okay, let's go to the fishing game forecast for tomorrow on Saturday as you get ready for the opening of buck season tomorrow. Okay, we'll go to the NBA if you want to do that. Philadelphia over Houston, 115-101. Washington, it's been a long week. Washington 120, Detroit 111. Boston won, they beat Atlanta. Golden State over Indiana 110-105. Okay, now where do you want me to go? Okay, now you want me to go to the fishing game? Okay, let's go to the fishing game forecast for tomorrow morning. And it looks like, speaking of tomorrow morning, I won't be able to be out there doing that stuff because I will be at the Berwick Valley West game personally, and then there'll be Tim Carlson will be at a game, and we'll have other crews out at all the games tomorrow.
Oh, good.
You did have a busy week. There is no doubt.
More to come still.
He worked hard.
Yeah.
A lot more to come.
Thank you, Joseph.
Okay, Joe. Thank you.
Weekend.
You too. And still ahead, the business people who really enjoy when things are going downhill.
We'll slide by that story when we come back. Well, there's one group of sportsmen that had smiles on their faces when they looked outside this morning. Newswatch 16's Jackie Carr went out to find out if today's snow roused any false starts among the downhill skiers.
There is a lot of snow, yes, but we don't have enough to open yet. Okay, thank you for calling. Good afternoon, Camelback.
The phones have been ringing all day at Camelback Ski Lodge in Monroe County, thanks to Mother Nature's powdering snow all across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Joan Montgomery of Camelback says even though business won't get started until about the second week of December, this early snow means skiers are ready to go.
It gives them a great psychological boost. They all want to get their skis out and start waxing, and they all call to find out if we're open yet.
Montgomery says that having all the skiers out there mentally ready to hit the slopes will probably mean good business for the opening of the season. And people seem to want to ski when they see snow on the ground, even though at this ski lodge they make their own snow most of the winter season.
We'll be making our own snow. We depend totally on man-made snow. We're going to crank up our snow making tonight, as a matter of fact.
Well, there's nobody standing in line now to get to the ski lift. People here at Camelback say that things should get rolling in about 2 weeks. But if there should be a big snowstorm between now and then, it could be off to the top of the slopes. Jacqueline Carr, Newswatch 16 at Camelback Ski Lodge in Monroe County.
I know you're a big skier.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you saw the snow? Did you get excited?
You get ski fever. There is no doubt about that. Even Zone is getting ski fever. And I will repeat my
I've seen him on skis.
determination to get Zone on the hill this year, I hope.
That's our report for tonight.
Next on Nightline, the final part of the crisis game.
For the Update team, thanks for being with us.
Good night.